Hello, welcome to Practical Piano. In this series, I just record every time that I practice. Now, to be clear, I am not performing, so none of this music is going to sound perfect. This is a playlist full of ongoing practice sessions so that you can see what progress looks like, not what the outcome looks like. We'll have the outcome eventually. All right. Now, I picked my Christmas song. It is a Marshmallow World in Boogie, and that's what we're playing today. Whoops. And two. Do my first measure with correct timing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Bum bum ba dum dum ba dum ba dum dum da. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1. Whoops. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and. Now I'm not sure these notes are right. There's a lot of ledgers, so I'm going to jot them in to make sure I've got them correct, because I would rather write them in and get them correct and have to use that writing in and helping myself, rather than practice it wrong by assuming that I'm right without writing it in. F, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's right. G and E. Okay, I think that's it for the really weird notes. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go from, let's go from here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and. See how much more confidently I can play that now that it's written in. I'm not worried about hitting the wrong thing. And at the very least, sometimes you need to write things in just for your own confidence. Now I've made this mistake a couple of times just in the same measures, twice. And it's a mistake that I usually tell my students, don't do this. So I'm going to point it out One, because that's going to help me remember it, and two, because if I would tell a student, why wouldn't I tell you? So what is happening is I'm holding the left hand searching for what comes next. If I'm not sure what comes next, I shouldn't sit on those notes. I should release them, figure out what comes next, and then play what comes next. Because if you're holding notes while you're figuring out what's next, you're training your brain to hold these notes for extra during your song. And you don't want to do that. It'll make it hard to make your end result more fluent. 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. And so now I have to search for what's next. I'm releasing the left hand instead of holding it down the way that I was holding it down before. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, and I'm not sure about these notes, so I'm going to jot them in. And yes, it looks like I had them correct. But now I'll be sure, so that shouldn't be a problem later. Release, find the notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and whoops. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3. No. 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 and that's right. 4. Whoops. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Oh, that sounds good. That's going to be so much fun to play. Now, I'm keeping the count this time. Last video, I said that at first, when you're figuring out the notes, don't count. Now, I've got a better hold on the notes today. That advice applies when you have a hard time reading. It takes a while to find the notes. So if I really struggled in this last part to find all these notes, I would stop counting and I would find the notes and I would play it a few times until I felt comfortable. And different people are comfortable with different things. So if you feel like you're ready to count, even though it's early, do it. But if you feel like you still need to find the notes, count later. Don't worry about it. So that advice I gave applies, but take into account how you feel. If you feel like you can count it, count it. If you feel like you need more time figuring out the notes, figure out the notes. Follow what you know about yourself, because nobody else knows your limits like you do. Okay. So I've played to the end of the section that I've chosen to work on for myself, so I'm going to play it again. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, 1, yeah, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 3. See, I'll need to work on that because that's a triplet against swing eights. It feels really weird and it's hard to do. But we're not going to focus on it today. I'll just try another go at it. 1, 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 2. Yes, 1 and 2 and 3. 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Yeah, we're going back to the start, and it is that chord. 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 whoops, 1 and 2, 3, and I gotta figure these ones out, so that's why I stopped. I'm making sure all my notes are right. But my finger was not right. I need my 4 here so I can play my 5 there and keep holding the bottom notes. So I'm writing in those fingers because I need the extra prompt. This I'm going to jot in, although I probably don't need it. It is a B flat. Because even having just one note in there is going to help me find the chord faster. That sounds good. When I say that sounds good, I like that combination of notes. I love how it sounds when I play it. I'm not randomly complimenting myself, but I'm complimenting the person who made it. Although it's perfectly good to compliment and celebrate when you achieve what you set out to do. But yes, in this case, I wasn't celebrating an achievement. I'm enjoying the sound that this artist decided to put in this song. It's wonderful. Now this here, I need to write this one in. This is A sharp. I keep thinking it's C sharp because C sharp is more common than A sharp. And then I'm getting into position to play C sharp, but I need to be over here to play A sharp. So it shouldn't be a staccato, it should be an accent. Let's play it again. Nice. That's gonna be super groovy. Now what am I having the roughest time with here? Probably that triplet against eighths, but I need some time to focus on that one, so it's not gonna be today. We'll go with these last couple of lines. We'll go from Okay, we'll play this section again. This is a good section to work on because it makes me think. And so that little bit of struggle, that reach in my brain is what we're looking for in the practice. A. Oh, I should write a finger there too because that would really help me. Ah, timer. Yep, and I only have a couple of minutes, but we're gonna write this fingering in first. So I need a 2 on the A sharp, so I can it's a grace note. I have to move quickly from the A sharp down to the B, F. So we need a 2 on the A sharp, and I'm gonna need a 3 on the B and a 1 on the F. And I'm taking into account what comes next. So the next thing is a D, F. I can keep my bottom note because it matches, so A sharp, B, F. I'm changing the B to a D, but I'm keeping the F. So I can stay in place, but I need a different finger. I'm going to use 4 on the D, 1 on the F. The next easiest thing to do is move to a 5 and 1 for the next interval. The easiest thing to do for this chord is use a 2 on the grace note and a 1, 3, 5 on the main chord. And I need to note to myself that these two chords are the same because I have this kind of halt moment where I wonder, oh no, is it the same? Okay, that part has fingering now, so it should be better for next time. Alright, so I will see you. Okay, so it turns out I didn't have the extra time to practice. I misread my schedule. So that is it for today's practice session. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comments. If you know somebody who would also enjoy the video, please share it and then subscribe if you would like more.